And we are live. What up, players? Welcome to another episode of Player Life. It is July 15th here in Tokyo, Japan. What is good? What is up? Um, Today, I want to talk about my blueprints for same day lays. Um, yeah, pretty straightforward. A lot of guys, I'm talking about cold approach, same day lay, A to Z. I think most people, I'd say most guys never experience having a same day lay. Like most people have never done it. Um, some people have, a lot of people maybe have done one night stands, maybe from the bar or the club, take a girl home. But yeah, I mean, yeah, what same day lays like from day game? That's probably pretty rare. Most guys never experience that. But not only is it possible, it is very possible. It's like, yeah, it would blow your mind if you like the thing about same day lays is that it's very location dependent. It depends on like like it's very dependent on convenience. That is one of the most important aspects of a same day lay. Um, yeah, for sure. Definitely, the more convenient, the easier it is to pull off. But it's like if you like, I think the most important is definitely if it's convenient, if it's easy to get to, and you live in a place that has a lot of opportunity to do cold approach. Um, so that's basically the most important factor. Obviously, obviously your game is obviously important, after that. um because you could have fire game, your game could be seriously on point, but I mean, if you live out in the countryside, and if it takes like 20 minutes to get to your place by driving or whatever, that's like, yeah, gonna be way harder to pull off a same day lay. I think the one of the most red pilling and most like almost like shocking aspects of, when you first start doing same day lays, is like you start to realize like what chicks will do if in the moment when you make them feel a certain way, when you're able to escalate appropriately with them. Like it's if a chick is in the right environment and she's in the right mood at the right time, it's like, and it's convenient and it just happens. It's like absolutely, it's almost shocking what like chicks will do, like how quickly chicks will like be DTF. Um, you know, and like I said, it's just about being in the right place, the right time, and making her feel a certain way. Um, yeah, and it's just a lot of guys. It's just crazy. A lot of guys just can't get their heads around the fact that girls will be DTF without any like alcohol or any, there's nothing necessary, like broad daylight. I'm talking like broad daylight, you know, same day lays, like broad daylight, like it's bright outside, like it's the afternoon, like it's the people are going to work, people are going about doing shopping, going about their business. You can have a same, you can take a girl back to your place and have sex with her. Like I've done it plenty of times. Like a lot of times, I know people that do it a lot. It's a thing. Like it is absolutely a thing. Um, and it's even more. It's another thing that's crazy about it is like that. I think is also shocking is that you start to realize that it's even more optimal, more ideal to have a same day lay rather than getting their numbers. Like there's been plenty of girls that I've banged that if I hadn't tried to do a same day lay, I'm sure I wouldn't have met most of them again. You know what I mean? I'm sure, I could have went and got their number, tried to set up a date, but certain things happen, things get in the way, chicks are obviously, So I would have met some of them, of course, but like I'm sure others I would not have met again. It's just that they were in the moment, in the right place, the right time. I made them feel a certain way, as in I, I escalated with them, I made them feel aroused, and we had sex. But like I said, if I had gone played the slow game, as in try and get their number and try and arrange a date, I'm sure I wouldn't have met all of the girls that I had sex with. Um, so that's also like kind of crazy when you think about it. It's like, wow. It's like, so it's like you gotta like take advantage of the moment, take advantage of the opportunity. Um, yeah, but to be honest, most of the time these days, I'm getting numbers, but like because same day lays require time, like a lot of free time, and you have to be free. You have to be free to like go and hang out and be with a girl for a few hours at least. Um, but it's also kind of shocking at how quickly you can go from like cold approaching a girl without knowing her at all to being having sex with her. I mean, it can happen. I mean, honestly, it could happen. It depends on where you live, but it could happen within 30 minutes, but it's more likely going to be, it could happen within an hour, definitely. Um, you know, but yeah, it's like if you live in a place that, is within walking distance from a place that has a lot of opportunity to do cold approach, downtown area where there's shopping districts, cafes, restaurants, bars, um, it's possible it is absolutely possible for you to um get same day lays as long as as long as your game's on point, you dress well, and obviously fucking if you're a fat slob and you dress like shit, and you could live in a location and try and get same day lays, it's going to be a lot harder, obviously, right? Not everyone can pull it off. You need to be, you need to understand game. You need to dress well. You need to be the guy. You need to be that guy, right? You need to be a guy that can pull it off. But you don't need to be as like a super Chad. Like you just need to understand game. You need to look smacks to some degree, and you need to be the best version of yourself, obviously, and it's going to be easier. Um, but yeah, I know guys that do it, and they're far from chads. They're far from like model looks or whatever, the regular guys, but they understand game, they understand the process, and they do this shit all the time. And it's the point that I want to make is that it's not a fluke. Like it's not like, oh, just you got lucky. No, like I've done this so many times, and I know the guys that do this on a weekly basis. Like they literally do this. This is their main way of getting laid. Like they do same day lays, same night lays on a weekly basis. Like this is how like every week. This is not just some random thing, random fluke. No, there's a method to it. There's a way to make it happen, and it starts with you know it starts with the cold approach. Um, it starts with the cold approach, and it's like I said, one of the most important aspects of it, of being able to do it regularly, and like having it, not just being a fluke, is living in a place which is very convenient, your place, your apartment, your house, wherever, is very easy to get to from the place that you did the a pickup. So ideally, the most ideal situation is if it's like literally like 10-minute walk um from the place that you met the girl. And it can be more, it could be like 20 minutes, but the further away, the harder it is going to the harder it's going to be to transition smoothly and make it seem like it's just natural and normal, and it is. I mean, it's not that it's not natural, but from the girl's perspective, it has to seem natural, normal, like completely unplanned, unprepared. But obviously, as guys, we can't operate like that. We have to we have to know what we're about. We can't just walk through life hoping that things will just happen. We have to make shit happen. So, but from their perspective, they have to see it as just being this, spur of the moment, romantic, kind of thing, fun time that just happened. But obviously, as guys, we know that we're we're out here, trying to make shit happen. So yeah, man, it basically, it starts like that. You basically, the more convenient your place, the easier it is going to be achieved. The easier it's going to be to achieve a same day lay. Um, so like I said, 10-20 minute walk from the pickup location. If you live in a place like that, you can pull off same day lays. Um, from there on out, it depends on you. It depends on your approach. It depends on so many factors, really. But like, obviously, when you cold approach a girl, she needs to be available. So a lot of the time when I cold approach chicks, like I decipher, I figure out soon into the interaction whether she's available or not. Let's just imagine I'm going out today. I want to do a same day lay. I have free time. I'll always, like, within the first minute or two, I'll know whether she's available to do it. Yeah, she's available to hang. So it'll go something like, I'll get her attention. I'll say, "Excuse me." I'll compliment her. Say, "Oh, I like your dress." Whatever. It can be anything, any kind of compliment. Um, I'll introduce myself. I shake her hand, and obviously you're shaking a woman's hand, so you're not like formally. It's more delicate. Um, and even by this time, I already, like, I have it. If I'm that much into the interaction with the girl, I'll get a good reading off her whether or not she's like interested in talking to me. A lot of girls will ghost you out of it. If the girl isn't interested in you, they're not gonna extend their hand to, like, they're not gonna even give me that. They're going to reject that. So if they're shaking my hand and engaging with me, that's a good sign. And then I'll ask them a question, and generally it doesn't have to be complicated. I'll say, like, "What are you up to today? Are you busy today?" And then I'll find out. They'll either say, "Oh yeah, I'm going shopping." Like, if they say something like, "I'm just shopping," I'm just, I'm going shopping, that's like, that's a candidate, that's a possibility that she could be down for the same, she could be down to hang. But if she's like, "Oh, I'm going to meet my friend," or "I'm going to work," it's like, yeah, she's not available. She's on her way somewhere. So, like, when I find out the girls are busy, like they're on their way to do something, they're not free, they're not available. Then usually I would just, like, maybe talk, I would wrap things up and try and, like, I'd say, like, "Let's have a drink sometime, or let's have coffee sometime." And I'd get their number, basically. Sometimes they'd give their number, sometimes they won't. Here's an interesting thing. I never, ever ask a girl twice for her number. I never do it. Like, if a girl says, like, 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 if she makes it difficult for me to get her number, I won't do it. Just because, from experience, I've approached thousands of girls. Okay, I've gotten hundreds of numbers, hundreds, hundreds of numbers, approached thousands of girls, and over that time, I've realized, yeah, so, like, any girl that has made it difficult for me to get her number, or has refused, like, kind of refused to give me her number, like, in the past, as I was learning game, as I was learning the process, I there's ways you can, like, say, "Oh, sure, why not? Just give me your number. We can you can think about it. Maybe you might change your mind." And sometimes they'll give you they'll give you their number. Does it ever work out with those girls? It never works out with those girls. It never works out with those girls. It never does. Even, don't bother wasting your time. That's just what I'm trying to say. It's like, if a girl refuses to give you her number, or, like, makes it difficult, or tries to, like, skirt around it, like tries to say, I don't know, like just say, oh, no problem, have a nice day. I honestly like, some people might disagree with that, but that's just from my experience, like, because I've done both, and it just, the numbers just don't add up. It's not worth that extra effort. um all the girls that I have success with, after making a good impression and talking to them for a bit, when it comes to me trying to get their number, the girls that I'm successful with, that I end up meeting again, they never made it difficult. They never tried to, get out from, get away from exchanging contacts. Like, girls that are interested in you will at least exchange contacts. Um, they'll do it. They won't make it difficult. That's just, that's my approach. You can do whatever. You might disagree, but that's what I've experienced over many hundreds of exchanges. Done it been doing it for many years, and yeah. But anyway, so that's the way I do it. That's how I do the cold approach. So I decipher whether or not they're available, you know, and like I said, when they're not available, I just get the number, let them go on with their day, and hit them up again at another time. Um, yeah, sooner rather than later, especially in this day and age, like, you snooze, you lose. Like, there's no more, like even a week, waiting a week, like, to hit up a girl. Like, if you get a contact and you wait a week to hit up a girl, that's like, in my opinion, that's like way, way too late. She'll have, for like, a week's a long time. A lot can happen. Like, probably, like, who knows how many guys have hit her up in between that time, if she's hot. Who God knows how many guys have slid into her DMs, and she's probably on dating apps, and yeah, it could be 100. Like, if she's super hot, it could be 100 easily, especially if she's using dating apps. But yeah, so you snooze, you lose. I mean, I would generally hit them up either that night or the next day, or sooner the better. To be honest, um, it's a fast-paced time we live in. So yeah, yeah, get the contact, and but if she's free, if she's available, um, depending on what time of day it is. I mean, I would generally, we're talking about same day lays blueprints here, so um if she's free, she says something like, "Oh, I'm just shopping," I'd be like, that's this is like me figuring out whether she's available or not available to hang out, you know. So let's just say she says, "Oh, I'm just shopping." I'm like, "Oh, well, how about you take a break and we just have a coffee together?" And she either accepts the offer or she doesn't, Um, and let's just she in this circumstance, let's say she accepts it. What I would do when I'm trying to get a same day lay, let's just say it's a nice day. It's a nice day, sunny outside. I would take her to the coffee shop, and I wouldn't even ask her if she wants to sit in or sit out. I would ask her what she wants. I would pay for the coffee, but I would order mine as well at the same time. But I'd say to the staff, I'd order it to go, so coffee to go, so we have it in the cups. Why? Because we want to, I want to walk with the coffee. Yeah, you don't ask. That's the thing. You're not ask. Oh, do you want to sit in, or do you want to? No, you're the one that's like, you're inviting her, so she's basically like, always like, they're along for the ride. Like, you're the one inviting her, so you're kind of deciding what to do, and she can either come along or not. Like, you're not forcing anyone to do anything, but you are deciding what to do. So that's very important. That's very important. It's like, to understand that you're not like constantly, "Oh, do you want to get them to go, or do you want to sit in, or, oh, do you want to sit?" Oh, no, no. Like, you're fucking deciding what to do, right? And like I said, she like you're not forcing anything on anyone, but like you're just kind of taking the initiative, taking the lead. So like I said, you don't ask, oh, do you want to go for a walk with these? No, because she's gonna be like, oh, do I want to go? What do we want? Because she's gonna be wondering what to do too. So no, you're like, okay, you just decide. We're gonna get these to go. Um, and you get them to go, and there's never an issue. I've never heard a girl be like, oh, I wanted to drink these in the coffee shop. No, it's like it's like there's never been an issue with that. Um, Uzi Strap says, "Is it easy to pick up females in Japan?" Um, it's a very broad question. I mean, no. Long story short, it's not. Um, long story short, it is not as easy as people assume it to be. Um, mad strangulation charges. All right. Okay. So, yeah. So you basically get the coffee to go, and what you do then is, by the time you've probably spent at least 10 to 15 minutes with this chick at this point. So she should be starting to get more comfortable with you at this point. She should feel comfortable talking with you. There shouldn't be any awkwardness. You should be leading the interaction, and it should all be going pretty smoothly. That's your job. That's your job, to make the interaction go smoothly. So you got the coffees, and what you're gonna do is you're just gonna walk directly to your place, which ideally is 10-20 minute walk. And you're not saying, hey, do you want to come to my place? You're not, you're not like, again, it's like just because you're going to be spitting out too many. It's going to be like it's going to sound too sudden, and like, oh my god, like I can't. She's going to think, oh, I'm going to, because basically when you invite a girl to your place, that's like, it's basically like saying, like, do you want to have sex with me? It's like you can't be that verbal about it. So again, you're just like gonna walk to your place, and again, as you're walking, the girl is becoming more and more comfortable with you. You're doing like light kino, as in light, you're escalating slightly. Not Don't try and escalate too much, as in don't be like trying to like put your arm around her, but light touches it, um compliment. The easiest way to do it is through touching her hands, basically. And you don't need to hold her hand or whatever. You just, it might seem weird if you're like holding her hand, you just met her, but you could do that too. I've done it in the past. It depends on the girl. Um, but compliment their hands. Like compliment her nails, kind of lightly massage her hand. Put your hand lightly on her waist, not like lightly touch it now and again, just so like you're naturally kind of gradually escalating. um like I said, nothing like extreme. Don't be like fucking grabbing her ass or anything, like it's broad daylight. No, you'll like, it'll come across as too much then. But like I said, gradually. And it's really important to like gradually escalate, gradually, like slowly. So it's like not like weird, you're not coming on too strong. And this is really important. Like, it's really important, because the worst thing you could do is not escalate at all. Like that, if you don't try and escalate in any way, shape, or form, it's going to be like, it makes it harder ultimately to like, kind of close. It makes it harder to, it's not impossible, but it's just, women need to be warmed up. Basically, women need to be, they need this kind of gradual escalation, to make it more, and make it seem more it just makes it seem more natural when you finally do try and make the move, if you get her back to your place. So like I said, you're walking with the coffees back to your place. Bear in mind, this is only one kind of variation of, like, this is a rough blueprint. I'm just giving you a rough blueprint of, a same day lay. And they vary, so it can vary slightly. It doesn't have to be coffee. You could even sit in for the coffee. But anyway, this is one that I've done many times. So you're walking to your place. you know you've been gradually escalating, whether could be around 20 minutes, could be around 25 minutes since you first met her. Let's just say you're coming close to your place, and this is when a lot of guys, I remember, this is when I was new to this process. This is when I start to feel like a little nervous myself, was because you're coming down to the, like, make or break kind of point, because you have to, like, invite her into your place, and it's kind of like you don't want to choke at this point, right? But you just have to get used to doing it. You just have to get used to being, it is what it is. Like I said, you haven't really talked about the fact that you want to go to your place. But as you get in within, like, let's say, visible distance of your place, within, like, a stone's throw of your apartment building, wherever you're at, you basically say, how you make some plausible deniability. And that could be, you know how about, it could be something like, how about we chill out and listen to some music? And she's like, oh, okay, like, where? I'm like, oh, well, how I just live over there, actually, so how about we chill in my place for a bit? It could be literally something like that. I've said that so many times. how about you know how about we watch a movie together? And she's like, where? And I'm like, well, I just live over there, so you want to just chill out for a bit? Literally something like that. And it's like, sometimes they'll be like, like, they'll be like, it's perfectly normal for them to hesitate, and they're not gonna be like, oh, sure. You're like, sometimes it's like, it's I would say the vast majority of the time they'll be like, they'll be thinking about it. But you just have to calmly, confidently, and smoothly just reassure them at that point. Because if I don't know, like, they'll be, I don't know, it's like, I just met you, and it's like, oh, don't worry about it. We're just, like, gonna watch a movie and chill out. And it's amazing how, like, if you reassure them, like, just say, don't worry about it. It's gonna watch, we watch a movie. Just, like, remind them that of what you're gonna do. Just relax. It's like a lot of the time, and it's like, that's what's so red pilling, is that a lot of the girls will come in. Not all of them will. Some of them won't. Some of them will be like, no, no way, no, my God, you live there? No, I'm not coming in. But then again, even, like, what's even crazier is, sometimes a girl will be like, no way, I'm not coming. Oh my God, no, I'm not coming in. And you say, oh, but, like, we're just gonna chill. Don't worry about it. We're just gonna watch a movie. Oh, really? Just a movie? And then they'll come in. So it's like, it's pretty amazing. Like, so, because sometimes it's like, no way, I'm not coming into your place, and it's like, oh, but I thought we might just watch a movie. And then, like, they'll be like, okay, and then they come in, like, so I wouldn't give up so easily. I mean, if they say no, 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 then it's no, then it's fine. And don't be like, if they don't want to come in, you don't need to be butthurt about it. It's fine, whatever. Walk back to the location you were at with them, and finish your, if you don't want to spend, whatever. It Just don't make it a big deal. It's not a big deal. It is what it is. They're not all going to come in. But this is an absolutely insanely effective strategy that works. And it's not just a fluke, it works. Many people do it. I've done it. So, they come in, relax, you put on a movie, put on some music, and there's so many different ways to escalate. One of my favorite ways to escalate is probably definitely the massage technique, because again, it's like, gradually increasing the physical contact. And yeah, I would say like I would say one, if a girl is like fully down to let me give her a massage, I would say certainly there's a higher success rate than there is a failure rate. As in, most girls that let me give them a massage will allow me to escalate to sex. Not all, but like a lot. um, so yeah, that's obviously the best way to escalate. And it's just kind of shocking, like what is possible. Um, what is possible. You know, Spark 55 says, "How would you modify that with a car?" Like I said, um, it's always like, look, one of the most important aspects of being able to do same day lays is convenience, is location, location, location. So with a car, it's going to be harder. It's is undoubtedly going to be harder because it just involves more commitment from the girl. You know, it involves more like, yeah, it just involves more commitment basically. Whereas when you're able to walk to your place and without it being like, you know, um, it just seems like it's happening like naturally. It's like the transition is very smooth. But when you have to say like, oh, like, how about we go for a drive? It's what you could do is you could just walk to your car. So you treat your car like you would um an apartment. So you walk to again within a stone's throw of your car, and you say, well, how about we go for a drive? And she's like, drive? Yeah, yeah, let's go for a drive. I'm just parked pretty close actually. We could just go for a drive. I know this cool spot. You have to like you're gonna have to have some plausible deniability. Um you could either go for a drive to like your place, or have some other scenic spot in mind. But I definitely think it's definitely going to be harder to achieve a same day lay with a car. But it's definitely not impossible, definitely not. But like I said, I would treat your car um like I do my apartment. So like I said, you get the coffee, whatever, you start what you walk to your car without saying I'm walking to my car. You don't say I'm walking, because she's going, oh, why are you walking to your car? Because again, you're going to have to say, it just gives you more time to build up rapport with the girl. And like I said, when you get in within walking, a stone's throw of your car, you suggest going for a drive. You suggest, and you can be kind of heading in that direction, kind of hinting at, uh, hinting at drives and things like that before you like, put it on her basically. Ask her, does she like driving? Does she like to go for drives? Stuff like that. And then, like I said, when you get within a stone's throw, just yeah, just say, let's how about we go for a drive? And either, again, there's most likely there's going to be some like, hesitation, but just again, reassurance. Ideally have some plausible deniability. If there's like a scenic spot you say you could take her, or if you have something at your house that you could show her, if you have a dog or something, like anything that, say suggest watching a movie with her at your house. And yeah, but again, it's just when things the smoother the transition, the better. The car makes it a little harder, but yeah, try it out. Try that out. Try what I suggested out. Mm. Yeah, so you could do that. You could do it with coffee. You could do it with a drink. You know, um, having a drink with a girl might, it, generally, it just, you don't need to get drunk with a girl, but sometimes girls will become more relaxed after having a drink. They'll become less uptight. So you can either do a coffee or a drink in the evening. Um, but yeah, this is specifically, same day lays. And there's many different kinds of situations where you could do same day lays. I mean, there's I think the fastest time I've ever had a same day lay was from like beach game. Like I don't know if anyone's ever done beach game, but it is what it is. Like, talking to girls on the beach. But yeah, I remember, like, what was it? It's a few years ago now. I've rarely done beach game, but I remember it must be 5 years ago now. But I remember I was down in southern Japan. It was summertime. It was like super hot, and I went down to this beach, and there's tons of hot girls on the beach. And I saw this one girl. She's wearing this like a little white bikini, looking fucking super hot. Um, just sitting alone on the beach. She was clearly alone. She just had a towel and she was just sitting on it, and she was looking at her phone. And man, this bikini was like fucking tiny. Like it was really sexy. But so I just rolled up to her. It was like 5 years ago. I can't remember exactly what I said, but it was something like, I think I said to her, "Oh, hey, what's up? I like your bikini," something like that. And we started talking, and we were talking for like, I would say, a maximum of like 10 minutes, like a maximum of 10 minutes before I said, "Hey, let's go for a swim." And yeah, she was that like, so we both went into the water together, and I started escalating. I initiated the touch by holding her hands in the water. We were like up to her like necks, and gradually just pulled her in a little closer, and she's very comfortable with it, and she's giggling, she's laughing, she's kind of splashing the water in my face. But long story short, it basically escalated to sex. Like, and I would say less than 20 minutes, maybe about 20 minutes after meeting her, it escalated to like raw dogging her in the ocean. It was like, so it's kind of like, if you're in the right place, right time, you make a girl feel a certain way. Um, it's kind of crazy what is possible. Like, especially for guys that don't like can't really they don't think like stuff like this happens in real life, and no, it does. Like it happens all the time. It happens every day all over the world. Mm. But only a small percentage of guys kind of know about it and engage, try and make it happen. And the guys that know about it really know about it. Like me, I know about it, and it definitely works if you just put in the reps. It's bound to happen if you keep trying. It'll happen, and you when you become good at it, you can, and if you live in a convenient location, in the right location, you can make it happen regularly. Like you can it's like I said, it's not just a fluke at all. So that's basically the blueprint, for getting, same day lays. Number one, it's super important. The location is super important. It's convenient that the pickup spot is like the more convenient the spot, the closer you live to the pickup spot, the place where you cold approach the girl, the easier it is to make a same day lay happen. And that's like what is like that's what's like was shocking to me when I first started doing it. It was like, wow, it's like if it's convenient and if they feel a certain way, these girls will like put out like if they're in the mood and like you know and like I said, there's it's a lot of some of these girls I'm sure would have never I could have gotten their number and then I just wouldn't never have gotten around to meeting them, but since it was like in the moment they had free time, they I made them, I was able to escalate with them, make them horny, like they were down for some hedonism. Like they were down for it, and they never intended to, they never left their house that morning thinking that they were going to have sex, but since they got into the situation and they became excited by it and they were having a good time, they went and did it. So yeah, it's like it's all about the convenience and making it seem like it's easy to make happen, like not so much commitment. you know if you have to start like jumping in cars or jumping on trains or jumping in taxis, these are all cock blocks. Like these are all like barriers. These are all barriers to sex, basically. um it's not, so I want to emphasize why something like this is so much more attainable when you can like literally walk, when you can walk to your place. Like it's a huge factor. It's a really big factor in it, in like being able to do it regularly. um yeah, like I said, like cars, trains, taxis, all that shit is a they're all just barriers, cock blocks. um you know um so number one, location. Number two is basically just how you look, dressing well. And number three, your game. Number four, you just like approaching the right girls, the girls that are like literally that are available, because obviously if she's not available, you're not going to be able to you're not going to be able to fuck her on the same day. So it's obviously, that's a vital factor, is approaching the girls that are available to fuck and have time to fuck. So it's like if a girl is like, oh yeah, I'm free, but I only have like 45 minutes, I have to meet my friend. It's like, yeah, you're probably just better off getting her number and arranging a date with her when she has more time. Like if you're going out to do a same day lay, there's no point in wasting time with girls that like don't have enough time to come and chill with you. So a friend of mine just a few weeks ago told me, although a friend, yeah, this is hilarious, but a friend of mine was, he was out, doing some game, looking for some same day. I don't even think he was looking for same day. I think he was just on his way to the store, and he had some free time. He saw this hot girl and approached her. Ended up basically, I don't even think he took her for a coffee. He basically talked to her and walked her to his place and said, took her in, I don't know what is plausible. I don't know the finer details of it, but long story short, he took her into his place. And but this girl told him that she was meeting her boyfriend in 2 hours, and until then she had some free time. So this is how savage some of it, like these chicks are. She was going to meet her boyfriend in 2 hours, and so she had free time for 2 hours. So in the meantime, he took her back to his place and fucking raw dogged her. And then she went off and met her boyfriend. Insane. And it doesn't, this stuff kind of stuff used to surprise me, used to shock me, and it still does to some extent. But I'm used to it. I'm used to it. Like I've seen it all. I've heard I've seen it all and I've heard it all, and it's this shit really does happen. Like it really does. Like this chick came to some guy's house like when she was, she had some free time for 2 hours, and she got raw dogged, and then she went and met her boyfriend. Amazing. And not only that, but like she allowed him to like take photos of her too, like will it like fully willingly like take like erotic, like sexy photos of her. She was fully down for it, um which is like amazing. But you know it's all this kind of shit is out there, all this hedonism. And yeah, same day lays are epic, man. Like they're so much better than like drunken one night stands. Like a sober, a stone cold sober same day lay, you feel like a fucking boss. Like when you pull it off, like I still do. Like every time I do a same day lay, it's like it's epic. Like it's because it's pure game. It's pure game, man. Like being able to pull off a same day lay is like it's so much more achievable than most guys realize. Like I said, I know guys that do it on the weekly. Weekly, it's like a regular thing. It's and I could do it weekly if I wanted. I get laid weekly, but I mean, um, it just involves like it's like how much sex do you want to have? Like once you know enough game and you live in the right location, it's like how much do you want? It's about how much effort you put in to getting laid. Um, I could do it much more. I used to do it much more than I do now. Um, I when I was going super hard, but um, yeah, it still is. They're great to do though. I highly like every man needs to experience the same day lay, like a day game, getting laid like broad daylight, on the same day you met a girl when it's still bright out, afternoon sex. It's the pure day game. No alcohol necessary. I mean, you could have one drink or two. I mean, you can go for a drink or a coffee, but even one drink it's not going to get you drunk, right? So you're not like it's just different to nightlife. Um it's very different, and it's much more satisfying. I think it's the most satisfying lay. Like day game same day lays are probably the most. It's some of the best sex and the most satisfying sex I've ever had in my life. um it's because it feels so taboo. It feels so wrong but right. It feels so like we shouldn't be doing this, but we are, and it's fucking epic. It's oh, and the girls get off on that too. That's part, that the girls are definitely aware of that too, like that. Oh my god, like I can't believe I did that with you. Like but they love it, I mean, it's that's what I said. It's some of the best sex I've ever had in my life. From like, from yeah. So every guy needs to try it out and make it happen. I highly recommend it. Um, Same day lays are nothing short of being epic. Um, yeah, man. I mean, and some of the hottest girls I've ever gotten with, like some of the hottest girls, are from day game, and yeah, that goes without saying. Obviously, that day game, but I mean, yeah, like I said, like when you can just make it happen, and it's seemingly just in the spur of the moment. Um, yeah, and yeah, it's just epic. But listen, guys, I'm gonna leave it there. Gonna cut it short. But if you want to learn more about day game, cold approach, let me share a link. Let's see. Share link. Right now, I'm doing some free consultations. You can book in if you want to, if you're interested in, if you want to, like, go into detail about, about your situation, because everyone's situation is different. Like, it depends on your circumstances, like living circumstances. Are you living at home? Are you living in countryside? Where, there's so many variations to game. You have to change up your game depending on where you live and your circumstances. Um, so your blueprints are going to be different. But if you're interested, you want to talk with me, I can help you out. I'm doing free short consultations right now. Post a link in the chat there. You can book in a free slot, and I'll give you some advice that will help improve your sex life ultimately. uh, you might already be getting laid, but you might not be happy with the kinds of girls you're getting. You might be getting busted threes, fours, fives from dating apps. You might be feeling like you're getting ripped off, like I was for many years. I felt like I was getting super ripped off from dating apps, and I was sick of it. And that was part of the reason I started doing cold approach, and it's never looked back. There's no other way. I don't even have a dating app on my phone, and it's just not necessary for me to have it. Some guys might need to have them going on in the background because of where they live. Like if you live out in the countryside, if I lived like somewhere in the countryside, like I would have to max out my dating. I'm not entirely, it's see, it just depends on your location. You have to switch up your game depending on where you're at. But if you're living in a city, like even a decent small city, that's enough to be able to do day game. um you know yeah, so hit me up, man. It's a free consultation. They're certainly not usually free. I don't know how long I'm going to be doing them for free, because they're not, but let's see. Danny Arnold says, I'm definitely not happy with what I've gotten in the past. I'm currently 50 and I usually have gotten same age Gen X broads. I want better now. Well, man, I just did a boot camp the other week with a 50-year-old, and he fucking killed it. He got some seriously hot girls numbers. Um so as a guy, you can definitely keep getting hot girls well into your later years. you know um 50 is definitely if you're 50, you could definitely be getting it, I need to talk to you. I need to figure out. You should book in a talk with me, man. We can talk about it. um if you want better, just I can help you out. I need to talk to you and hear your situation. Um, but yeah, man, why not? Just book a call. Okay, guys, I'm gonna leave it there. Until then, have a good weekend. Bye bye.